we're in now where people are just pouring in. But no, so you do those treatments.
I do.
Okay. I guess I didn't know you were like a practicing esthetician.
That's the thing. I don't like to advertise it anymore.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You do it all.
I've done it all. Over 20
Um,
years. So that's how I started out. I started out immediately right out of school as a laser technician. I was one of the first laser technicians. I would say not necessarily in the country, but like when lasers first kind of came on the market, which was back in 2005, 2006.
yeah.
So I became a laser technician in 2006,
Okay.
like fresh out of school.
I mean, yeah, that's something new I didn't know about you. Hey guys, welcome into our webinar. Chat is always open. I have Ryanna on who owns a couple schools. We're going to get into all the things about running a school. But tell us where you're from. Tell us what you're binging these days. I have 30 minutes left of the Love is Blind reunion. Did you watch the season, Ryanna?
I've never watched Love is Blind.
Okay. Well, that's because you're too busy watching. Guys, I found a millennial, Ryanna. Get this. She's been watching General Hospital since the day she was born.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I'm,
I grew up on General Hospital.
and so you record it every day and watch it.
Honestly, I should give General Hospital credit for my professionalism, for my business skills. It all came from General Hospital.
I am dead that you watch a soap opera. Like when I found out that she is the age she is and is I'm just like, you are not watching a soap opera every day. Do they take a break or like, are they on just for a few months of the year?
No, they're on every single day, so Monday through Friday. And it's really aggravating when there's like, a presidential election or something major happens, breaking news. It doesn't record.
Oh my gosh.
So I miss it.
I mean, surely they take a break at like Christmas and stuff.
Every once in a while, they'll put on reruns, but it's very rare.
I cannot believe you're watching that. Okay, so I gotta finish up my Love is Blind, and I'm in season 3 currently of Traitors. So if you guys are watching something else, please let us know what we can watch next. That's my favorite part of the webinar is the very beginning when we talk about that. Love Island games. Ooh, see, I'm not really into stuff like that, but I feel like I could every now and then use like a trashy TV show. Do you watch any trash, Rihanna? Dancing with the
Oh,
Stars?
so my guilty pleasure is Peaky Blinders.
Oh,
I've watched it
that's not
twice,
trash.
all the way
That's not
through.
trash. The movie's coming out.
Oh, Tommy Shelby.
I
And
know.
then I've binge watched The Handmaid's Tale.
Yep. I haven't watched the last season. I tried and
And
it's
then
not.
Outlander. I'm just going to tell you right now, like if I could go put my hands on some stones right now and just say goodbye to this world, I would. I know Jamie's waiting for me.
Well, you have some Outlander fans in the chat. And Stephanie, nobody wants this. I just finished it. Loved this season. And can we talk about how Esther had the biggest glow up? Like Esther crushed it. Do you watch? You probably don't watch. Nobody wants this with Kristen Bell.
No.
Phenomenal. Okay, I've really enjoyed this little chat. I am super stoked about next month. It's so funny. I've now had 2 people ask me. They're like, Jen, when are you going to do a webinar on AI admissions? I was like, oh, it's coming, baby. It's coming November 20th. Because y'all know I just love human to human connection. So I'm going to ask the real tough questions about it. I'm just going to go ahead and put it here in the chat so that you guys can just sign up for it while you're on here instead of having to wait for our newsletter to come out next month. Secure your spot. I have a feeling that that one is going to completely fill up. We're going to be talking AI admissions. What we're going to be doing today is we are going to be talking about running a school well and making your employees happy and making the culture a place where people actually want to be. And I wanted to have Ryanna on because she is a small school owner. And I love the idea of finding out what smaller schools are doing. Sometimes it's hard to replicate with like bigger chains, but the majority of our members, the majority of the people who listen to our webinars do come from smaller schools. So we're going to chat about that. Side note, also, Ryanna's amazing. She's so much fun. Guys, she's who I went to Backstreet Boys with. She's who I went to the Sphere with. Best time ever. And she's a blast and she runs a really great school. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the schools you own and the programs you offer?
So I am the CEO and founder of Premier Aesthetics Institute. I started it back in 2015. And honestly, at that time, I owned med spas. So I had two med spas, one in Oregon, one in Idaho. And one of my friends came to me and was like, you should start an aesthetic school. There's like no quality aesthetic schools in our area. And I was like, no, I do not want to do that. It just wasn't in my wheelhouse at that time. It just felt like such a big project. And so I just started looking into it more. And then the next thing you know, here I am. I have a program. It's approved through the state of Oregon. And I had my very first class actually in the med spa. So obviously I wasn't accredited at this time, but I was
Mhm.
able to utilize my med spa and the space that I had. And I started my very first class. So like I said, that was back in 2015. And then from there, it just grew. I shortly moved to Idaho after living in Oregon, and I sold my two med spas. And then I decided to open the second campus, and that was opened in Meridian, Idaho. Here we are, fast forward, it's 2024, and I opened the third campus up in Post Falls, Idaho. So we now have three schools. All of them are just a 600-hour aesthetics program only.
Okay. And by the way, for like a small school, you guys stay on wait lists. You do very well with enrollment.
We do. Yeah, I mean, we've faced challenges obviously over the years, and then the pandemic, which is interesting. I didn't really know how that was going to go. And during the pandemic, we actually blew up. I think so many people were questioning everything they were doing and wanted something that was kind of maybe pandemic proof,
Yeah.
because they were questioning, where am I going? What am I going to do? I think everybody wanted to take back control. And so my school really grew in 2020 at
Mm.
both schools, both in Bend, Oregon and in Meridian, which was really cool to kind of watch that shift. And we were still a baby school at that time.
Yeah.
I was still in the phase of learning and growing. We were not accredited. So we were just cash pay. And I carried the notes for every single student. You just do what you have to do, right? And we made it work and we made it through. And I was like, okay, let's just keep going. The next thing you know, we become accredited. And I gained a lot of confidence during that time because you just learn through everything you go through.
Yeah.
A lot of challenges.
Yeah. And now all three of your schools have financial aid.
Correct.
Yeah. And so, in a time where you grew when SD was really big, and today, I think for a lot of schools, SD is slowing down, but you have the unique opportunity of having an SD only school, which I feel like is kind of gold. Like when you have Cosmo and barbering and nails and all that in the same building, it's a whole different vibe. And so I want to chat a little bit about you being a leader in your school. First of all, I think student retention and student enrollment is directly related to staff retention. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, just like from a student perspective, if you have like the same teachers and you love them, you're going to tell people about the school. Because I know what you spend on marketing. You don't spend a ton on marketing. You really don't have to.
We don't. And that's because we do have, I think, a niche, like you said, because we are aesthetics only. The demographic of students that want to go to our school, they know that's what they want to do. There's no
Yeah.
question. I want to go to school to become an esthetician. And so it's almost a no brainer in our areas because it just makes it a clear pathway for them. They're not there to compete with any of the other programs. They're there in school with like minded people.
Mhm.
Um, but just to touch on what you just said about the educators, educators make or break your school. They are the reputation.
Mhm.
So I don't like to take credit for it because I don't think it's me. I think yes, it is my vision, and yes, I am a leader. But it really does boil down to who you have representing you in your schools.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to say that we've had the best educators the entire time. We haven't. At times, you know, as a business owner, you hire somebody with the best of intentions. You have high hopes for that person, and people start to show you their true colors.
Yeah.
And so with that, it's like you want to believe in that person and you want to believe that they have your best interests at heart, but then it kind of comes to the demise of your reputation if you keep that person, because that person is essentially could be poisoning the well, right? So they could be creating drama amongst other educators, which then spills into the education of students. There's professionalism. I mean,
And I
I could
love that
go.
you said it make or breaks it, Ryanna, because like when I look online, when I look on TikToks, which by the way, newsflash, tons of kids are trashing beauty school on TikTok. I've kind of like gone down to that rabbit hole this week, and the top complaint is their teachers. It's the top complaint.
It is, and I think you have to really vet who you're going to hire. And I will tell you, like in the beginning, I was really desperate. Like you're just like, oh my gosh, like there's not a lot of instructors out there.
Right.
So you're not picking from this giant pool. You're kind of picking from a very small pool of licensed instructors that can step in and fulfill that role.
People
We
who
don't have a
could
lot of time.
probably go work in the industry and if they're any good, make way more money than teaching, which we're going to get into that in a second. So I
Yeah,
think there does come to, you know, there's something about having the heart of a teacher and wanting this job, but you had never ran schools before. And so my question for you is like, did you have bad bosses in the past that kind of gave you a vision of when I run a med spa or when I run a school, I know I'm not going to do this. Like, did you already
yeah,
know?
wholeheartedly. Because I've been in the industry for over 20 years, I was talking to you, I started out as a laser technician.
Mhm.
I moved into a position in Bend, Oregon, and I had a boss, and I did everything to make her happy. I put in very long hours. I was one of the number one sellers. I would sell over 200,000 a year in packages. I was paid very poorly. And I was just like, I was so hungry. So I did everything to please this woman. And I thought that she cared about me. And I think she did. But I do remember it came to Christmas and I thought, oh my gosh, like I worked so hard this year. I forgo lunches and put in all these hours. And anytime she needed help, I stepped in. And I got a pair of earrings, like a chintzy pair of earrings. And God bless her. I remember, like, that's what I'm worth to you?
Yeah.
Like, a pair of earrings. And not to say that that wasn't nice, and it's the thought that counts, right? We're supposed to be super humble and grateful for anything, but I just thought, if I had somebody that showed up the way that I did and I worked and they worked that hard for me, I would want to make sure that they knew that I valued them and that I really appreciated them, because I couldn't do what I do without my employees. My employees are everything to me. They all
Yeah.
have a heart of gold. They genuinely care about the school. They care about me. And in turn, I care about them. And we're like a family. And you can see that if you look at our social media. We have a very tight bond
Yeah.
as a
You
whole.
do. And that's what I even posted it on LinkedIn. Like I posted the Boss's Day letter or like cute little card that your staff gave you. And of course they sent you flowers. And I mean, who did that? I mean, God, I didn't do that for Boss's Day. I'm terrible. Like that makes sense to me. Like you guys do have this little family. As you were growing your schools, is this just your background and your intuition that you relied on how to be a leader, or did you seek out consultants for guidance?
I did not seek out consultants. I mean, of course, I had people consulting me along the way, friends such as yourself, people who have come into my life or people that have modeled something that I was like, ooh, they have that. I want that, right? You can see that all around you.
Right.
there's people that inspire us or people that are doing things that you're like, okay, they have it figured out. For me, I really think it's a little bit of just who I am. It's my heart. I have a really big heart. I'm a bit of an empath, but
Mhm.
I'm also type A personality. So I've actually had to morph letting go of some things throughout this journey and giving my staff autonomy, like trusting them, not micromanaging them, but communicating with them. So along the way, I've been there to help guide them, and we're constantly learning from each other. We're always having these breakout sessions where we're communicating about how things are going, where can we improve? And then we work together to find solutions. I think that really helps them feel a sense of pride in what they're doing because that's their school. It's
I
not my
gotta
school.
say, yeah, I love that approach in the way I feel like that's a millennial boss in general is we've had the boomer generation, they were such micromanagers and refused to trust their staff. Like I've had so many bosses like that where even when I was doing social media where they were like, let me read all your posts. And I'm like, you're 65. What do you care? Like, you don't know what connects with people on a social
Yeah.
media post. Like, I'm in my 20s. You kind of need to trust me. And I think that that is one of the hardest things, one of the hardest lessons for leaders to learn is like when you hire someone for social media, let them thrive. When you hire someone for admissions and they have experience, yes, you have your way of doing things, but they're in that role for a reason. Like you have to trust the staff that you're hiring.
100%. If
Yeah,
I don't trust them, if I can't trust them to do their job, then they're not going to thrive.
right.
It's because I give them, like I said, that autonomy to say, hey, I trust you. I put you in this position for a reason. Like all three of my school directors are phenomenal.
Mhm.
They run their school with integrity. They have their own thoughts, their own vision. They do run things past me and they're just, hey, can I do this? Are you okay with this? Absolutely. As long as it's in line with our ethics and morals and it's a good representation of the school, then I let them do it because I want them to once again feel a sense of pride, and they do when they're able to take their ideas and bring them to fruition.
Yeah, I agree. So how did you know, never running a school, how did you know what to pay? How did you know what perks? Were you hiring people that were like, I'm getting paid this much at this school, so you were just like, cool, I gotta beat it? Or did you just come in knowing like I'm gonna have this amazing package together? I'm asking like kind of like early years of you starting
Yeah,
together your staff. How did you know?
early years because I was new, being a brand new baby school, I had to be competitive. I didn't have a lot of margins though, so it was like I could barely be competitive.
Mhm.
So with that, I had to get creative. I was strategic with what I could offer them, knowing that I didn't have a lot to offer them. Correct? I have three students enrolled.
Right.
Can I even make payroll this month? I don't think so, but I'm going to try. So, what I would do is I would just offer them just a little bit more than what they were making. And then I would offer them opportunity. Like, if you will stay with me, we're going to grow together. There's going to be incentives along the way. And then I would offer them like PTO. I couldn't afford 401k or medical or dental insurance at that time. It just wasn't in the cards for us. So instead, I'd be like, okay, I can offer you PTO. That was a
Mhm.
bonus. That was something that was a little bit of a perk, and then just a little bit of a slightly higher pay. As we have grown, it was always my goal to get to that next level. I wanted to offer benefits and I wanted 401k. And I'm proud to say that now my staff does have medical, they do have 401k, we offer PTO, and their PTO grows every single year that they're with the company. So, which is also an incentive. I have several employees that have been with me for a very long time and they're up to a full week paid vacation. They
Mhm.
can use it whenever they want, or if they don't use it at all, I just throw it all into their paycheck at the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. And honestly, I feel like flexibility is kind of what people want anyway. Like I always say in admissions, like I know you guys can't bonus people, but I mean, if they're meeting their goals and they're doing well, you can give them a Friday off. Like we can throw different things at people that aren't necessarily money all the time. So, I'm interested to hear directly. I know we can't have your staff on, but I would love to hear how they've been able to communicate with you before we get into like actual like takeaways for everyone on here.
Okay.
How does your staff let you know that they enjoy working for you?
So I do weekly one-on-ones with my directors. They kind of tell me how their team is doing. We have a chain of command, but I also send out emails checking in on them from time to time periodically. I actually put together a survey recently that just said, what are your goals for the next 5 years? I want every single employee to fill it out, send it back directly to me. How are you liking your current position? Are there anything like, is there anything that you would like to see different? Are there things that you would like us to bring on? How can we improve? So I'm vetting these employees that I have just to kind of feel them out, see how they're liking working for me. And I
Mhm.
always want their feedback. I want honesty. And I think because of the relationship I built with them, they know that they can be transparent.
Yeah.
We also, you know, we do things for them. I send them birthday gifts, anniversary gifts. I make sure to acknowledge them every single year on birthday, their annual anniversary
Are
with
you sending
me.
cheapo earrings or give us a hint on what you're
Usually it's like a beautiful flower arrangement with a
yeah,
card.
flowers are great. Yeah. Very
Mhm.
thoughtful. I was just talking to someone literally yesterday that they were talking about their boss and that was she's like I only been here a couple months and my boss sent me the most beautiful flower arrangement for my birthday and I didn't expect it. It fell out of the blue. I think that people underestimate how like a small gift can make a huge impact and can make people happy. Um
Just to feel appreciated, to feel seen, right? To know that they're not just that I haven't forgot about them because I can't be at all three schools. I
yeah.
cannot talk to every single employee every single day. That's just not realistic.
So
But they
one-on-ones
know
with
that I'm there.
directors and one-on-ones with
I'm sorry.
directors. You have the one-on-ones with the directors, and the directors then are responsible for retaining the staff at each school.
That is correct.
Okay, okay, perfect. Can you let us know how you are finding today in this really crazy market of employment? How are you finding staff? Or do you just have the same staff for a long time where you haven't actually had to hire anyone new in a while?
So multiple questions that you have. I have multiple answers. Because of our reputation, people want to work for us. And it's interesting because we hire a lot of past students. Past students will come back years after they've graduated and say, I always wanted to work at Premier. We just hired a lady 2 weeks ago who put in her resume to be a part time instructor and a teacher assistant. And she actually went to Premier and she said, I want to be with the best. And I was very humbled by that. Like, you want to be with the best and you consider us the best after going through our program and going out on your own. And now it's coming full circle. Now you want to come work for me. I've now hired 8 graduates that work for
Okay.
me.
Wow.
So that's one way, is just based off of our reputation. And then also we put out ads on Indeed, just like anybody else would. But I think because of like the way that we present the position and the perks that come with it, we're attracting people who like fall into that category.
You know what's
Wanting,
funny about that, about the students, is that a lot of people graduate and they have a bad taste in their mouth from school, and the last thing they want to do is come back there. Um, to go out into an industry and decide to teach and want to go back to the school you went to, that's exactly what that's like you don't even have to hunt people. They're hunting you.
correct.
And that's what we mean by like student retention and staff retention. They're so closely aligned. Guys, I'm telling you right now, Ryanna, with us, she spends $500 a month. And on top of that, what other marketing do you spend?
Maybe I think our budget is close to 500 a month on Google.
Okay, so that you spend $1,000 a month for 3 schools and you guys are on wait list. And this is what I tell schools all the time. The goal is to spend nothing. Like the goal is to be so in demand from so many referrals that you have to spend a little bit to get your name out there, and that's about it. Like that's how you grow a school is by having super happy students. So,
And it starts with your staff.
and it starts with your staff. Do you have any educators that have been with you since day one?
No,
Okay, and what would you say the longest someone has been with you at this point?
5 years.
Okay. I mean, and
So
you guys are a new school, like a
yeah,
newer
I have
school.
several employees that have been with me for 5 years now. It's
Yeah.
hard letting go of people who have been with you, even though you know they're maybe not the best fit, or you know they're somewhat toxic and they're hurting you. I have had to let people go, and that has honestly, that was really hard for me. People that I cared about, that had been with me since the beginning. Ultimately, you get to a place where you're like you're hurting me, you're hurting the company, or you're not part of the future. I have to let you go. That's hard to do, but that's always come back like full circle to benefit the school. It helps with camaraderie. The team then sees that, hey, she takes what we do seriously because she was willing to get rid of this person, even though they're loyal.
Yeah.
They didn't, you know what I mean? They weren't part of the team as a whole. And so they brought the team down.
I mean, how long do you let a problem fester before you fire them?
It just depends. It's a case by case basis. If it's something really severe, then I need it head on. If they're little things, I'll monitor them, but there's always communication along the way. I never let anything go unspoken. So we'll be mindful of it. We'll bring them in, we'll have a conversation, and then see if they improve from that conversation. You can only tolerate something for so long.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Well, what other things are you guys doing? Because I know you do lots of retreats. Actually, let's specifically talk about retreats. Because
Okay.
I know you do these one-on-one meetings. Sometimes schools will have just like an annual meeting. I know my company, we do an annual meeting. We're doing it in 2 weeks where everyone just kind of comes in and we do dinner and like we'll do like a fun activity and then we'll do like actual meetings. I want to hear about your retreats. First of all, your retreats are kind of bougie.
They are. And I haven't always done them because they weren't in the budget. And I know that, maybe every year we shouldn't do them. However, they mean so much to my team. And it's really a way to get together and have that team building experience. If we don't
Mhm.
set aside the time, then it's not going to happen. And it's becoming more of a challenge because I have 28 employees amongst 3 schools. So to get everybody together is almost impossible, but at least I try. And so, therefore, the staff puts forth the effort as well. They're leaving their homes, their family, they have to travel. Usually, there's always travel involved with this retreat. So I try to pick a different place every year. This year, we went to the Oregon coast and I rented a huge house. And then it was just filled with experiences. We had dinners, we went to lunch. I rented ATVs and we went out on the sand dunes. It was a blast and everybody loves it. And I think with that, like, work kind of goes out the window and you realize like, yes, this is my work family, but we're just having fun. And
Do
it's
you
so
shut
important.
down the schools to do this? Like what,
We
how do you,
do. Yeah, we
so
shut down
you,
the schools.
so you make a decision to close the schools. Ooh, that's gonna ruffle a lot of feathers on this call. People are gonna be like, I'm not doing that because now kids can't clock in. You know that that's an investment for your school.
And it's a non-negotiable for me at this point because I see what it has done for my team. They
Okay.
deserve to have that retreat. I enjoy having that retreat. If I don't set that time aside, then it's never going to happen. And it's about the only way that we all can get together. And then so many amazing things happen while we're on our retreat. The bonding, the collaboration, the conversations that are happening amongst all of the staff. Like we all want to make the school the best it can be. And so when we're together, it's like the juices are flowing, everybody's like collaborating, and it's fun. It's like, okay, we're excited for the next one. Everybody says it. They're like, I cannot wait for the next retreat because so much comes out of just taking 3 days to be together.
So you aren't just purely getting massages and having fun. You are doing, you're having time together where you're exploring ideas.
Correct. And it's the only time that, instructors from all three schools can get together and they have
Oh,
conversations and everybody just kind of shares information. This is what's working at our school. We're facing this challenge at our school. It just opens up time that is sacred for everybody to be able to share those things. Otherwise, if life is busy, we're running schools today doesn't allow for everybody to get together unless we did something like this, like a Zoom where everyone's on. Um, and that's great and that serves its place. However, we plan for these retreats a year in advance. So it's already built into our curriculum. It's already, we've already allocated that with each cohort that the school is going to be closed annually for this time.
I love it. And is it something that the staff just like talks about the year leading up to it, like the next one, and they're just chatting
Oh,
about it?
I get text messages constantly like, I can't wait for the retreat, can't wait for the retreat. They have staff meetings amongst their school. Like, I'll get a selfie with my staff being like, we can't wait to see you, Rye, or we can't wait to see everybody. They all say it amongst themselves. They're texting each other. So there's a lot of love. It's like a big family. We're all getting ready for a family reunion.
And I kind of like that they also get to see a not so business side of you. Cause I've been able to see the fun side of you. I just said like we got to go to Backstreet Boys or like we hang out
Yeah.
and we get to do like fun. By the way, y'all, we were gonna go to London together. I had tickets to see Celine Dion in her last performance, and she was ending her tour in London, and then it got canceled because of her voice. But Ryanna,
Heartbroken.
it's also funny though because Rhonda put in the chat, is your next retreat in Paris? We're all going to Paris together for
Oh
Rhonda's.
my gosh, Rhonda, I'm not a billionaire. I cannot afford to take everybody to Paris.
But we get to go to Paris. We're going next year. We're super excited about that. Here's what I will say that maybe I've done wrong in my job. I've become friends with so many of my clients or so many of just people I've met through AACS or through work, like literal friends, so much so that we're going to go on vacation together. Um, how do you find that is as a boss to just sort of like let your hair down, wear a swimsuit and just like be fun, like show that personal side that's not so business around your staff?
The truth is, I'm me. I'm weird. I like my whole staff knows like professionalism is there at times when it needs to be, but
Right.
I'm going to be true to who I am. I think otherwise it just makes the world boring. I'm not boring. I am fun. I like to have fun. We laugh all the time. Like I can't even begin to tell you the stories. I'm not going to because it's not for this platform. But the just being yourself and being true to who you are and letting your staff see that you're a human.
Yeah.
I'm me. Like, I'm not perfect. I have my flaws, I have my downfalls. They're stronger where I'm weak, and vice versa. It's just like it's like a friendship. They should somewhat be a friend in a way. You should treat them with respect, treat them with kindness. I think they all know that about me. I love them and I meet them where they're at. So it's a very comfortable relationship, and it hasn't always been this way, but I will say that right now my unit is so strong. We hug each other, we say I love you, and I know that's maybe not for everybody, but that's how we do things.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, I know that a lot of bosses want to keep this separation of just like, I'm the boss, you're the employee. We can't cross these friendship boundaries. But I believe millennial bosses are changing that. I mean, I see it every day. I really believe this younger generation is finding something different and being like, no, we actually can be friends. We can go see We can go see Boys to Men, which that's something we got to do together. We are both big Boys to Men fans. Ryanna and
Oh
I
my
are
gosh, you
battling.
know it. Yeah, I mean, there's a time and a place that I'm their boss. And
Sure.
I think because of the relationship we have, there is a mutual respect. They know that I'm the owner. They want to make me proud because they feel appreciated. They feel
Mm.
seen, they feel heard. And that is a millennial way of speaking, correct? But I've had to kind of flip the script and say, hey, like, we don't have to be this way. Like, yes, we maybe started out that way where our bosses were very like cold and you're afraid of them and you kind of ran from them. And if they wanted to speak to you, you were like shaking. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to talk to my boss. My employees will text me if they haven't heard from me in a few weeks. Hey, how are you? Just thinking of you, love you, miss you. I just had that in an email from an employee in Post Falls yesterday. She wrote me, she's like, I was just thinking of you today, Rye. I miss you. How cool is that to have that friendship with your staff and just know that like we all have each other's backs?
I mean, doesn't that just make running a school so much more fun?
Yes. If it wasn't this way, I don't know if it would be for me
Yeah.
because
I'm
life happens so quick. We all have to work. Everyone needs a job. I want them to love their job as much as I love what I do because if I didn't love what I am doing, I wouldn't do it. It's not worth my time. You know what I mean?
So do you know like do you know their kids' names?
I do.
You know, yeah, yeah. Getting to know them as people is important to you.
It is. And a
And
lot
that's
of them
not the
have been
case
to
for
my
everyone.
home. I've had them
Mhm.
here. I let them stay here. If they're like coming through town, they always know they have a place to stay. They know my kids. If I'm in town with my family, I'll invite them out to dinner.
I love it.
Not
They
all
know
the
your
time.
cats. They know all your cats.
They know my cats. They know that I'm a bougie cat owner, and it's a problem.
Before we got on this, before I hit play, she was showing me all her super fluffy bougie cats. I was like, oh, these are not like alley cats. These are ones you see in like commercials.
Yeah, that's probably my next dream job is to like be a cat breeder and put them on Friskies commercials.
That's so great. Becky asked in the chat, do you see turnover in other roles aside from educators, admissions, financial aid? How are you able to retain that? Also, I feel like you kind of just throw everyone into a bucket as an employee, but do you see turnover in those areas?
I haven't, no. And I think the reason why, and it's not always come at the company's best interest at times, like financially, but when my financial aid um, director came to me and she said, I am overwhelmed, like 3 schools with financial aid, I'm the only one doing it. I can't do this. I need help. And so I hired her an assistant, which has turned into a full time position. So there's now 2 people running the financial aid department. That actually was in the company's best interest because that's where burnout happens is when they're drowning and you're
Yeah.
not listening to them. And they get to the place where, they have a mental breakdown or they're like, this is not worth it. It's too much stress. I mean, I know for me, when I'm feeling super stressed out with life and in work, it's like you can only handle so much as a human. And so I look at them and I'm like, okay, they're trying really hard and they're telling me that they need help. I need to listen and I need to make sure that I take this seriously or I'm going to lose that person.
And then, like, you brought your financial aid director to AACS.
I did. She was really good to go. She takes her job seriously and she wants to learn as much as she can so that she is doing her best for the company. She doesn't want to just continue doing the same thing day in and day out, even though it's working.
Mhm.
She's hungry. She wants knowledge. And I think she wants to make sure that she's doing a really good job.
I mean, that's a perk itself. I mean, we talked about it. That wasn't cheap. You had to fly her to Miami, stay in a nice room, dinners every night, the
Yeah.
registration for her to come. Sending your staff to conventions I mean, that costs money. Did you find that beneficial? Did she feel loved because of it? Like, what did that do for you guys?
Absolutely, because her and I had that one-on-one time on the airplane. We had time to walk in the morning before the conference, the meals. Just once again, that goes back to the bonding experience.
Mhm.
There's a relationship being formed there between her and I, and also a trust, because we're able to speak really open and honestly about what's going on in the schools, or ways that we can improve. So I, even though it did cost a lot of money, it's an investment. I'm investing into my people. All of this is an investment. The retreats is an investment. The perks is an investment. It does come at a cost to the school. Obviously, it hurts my bottom line, but I'm okay with that, because if I don't have them, I don't have a school.
Yeah, but and on top of that, Ryanna, you've taken sabbaticals. Like you've been able to take time away knowing that you have a good staff who loves you and who works hard for you where you don't have to be there 24/7. And that's because you've been able to invest.
And that's huge. I will say, like, uh, taking a sabbatical for the first time and being able to step away was huge. I did not worry once about the school, because I knew I was leaving it in good hands, and they all reassured me, we've got this. They wanted me to take the sabbatical. They encouraged it. I needed it. I just kind of got to this place where I was exhausted. 10 solid years of running this school and never really taking time off like that. Yes, I take time off. I go on family vacations. I make sure to have boundaries with my personal life and my work life. But to completely step away from the school for 3 full months and
Mhm.
have it run so smoothly, there was no issues. I came back, everybody was happy, things were thriving. I mean, it was like I didn't even take time off. But it was really good for me, and it was good for them, because they knew I trusted them. So letting them work together and problem solve without running to me, they then trusted themselves and the choices that they made, and they were able to stand behind them and feel good about the choices they were making and trying to run the school in everyone's best interest.
I mean, I bet you were at my class at AACS. We were talking about that, about how like parents who are helicopter parents and don't let their kids thrive independently, they become, I mean, adults who don't know how to do anything. And I think
Yeah,
that it's the exact same thing with your employees. If you are micromanaging your employees, you are hurting them. They're not able to grow.
no. And it's fun watching them come to me. Oh my gosh, I have so many ideas. I have thoughts of ways that we can improve, or, they come to me with different things they want to bring to the school, or ways to elevate the education. I'm all about it. I do not want to stay stagnant, and either do they, because at some point, I think in every position you're in, you hit a ceiling.
Yeah.
So how do you become creative to keep it innovative, to keep interest, to keep people happy and not create burnout?
Yeah, I think that's great. There's some more questions in the chat I'm going to ask you. One is, as far as PTO goes, do you guys offer paid holiday time off? For example, we take a week off during November, 2 weeks in December, and 1 week in June. Some employees see it as a perk, while others see it as unpaid time off. Wondering if anyone goes through this, which feel free, y'all, to jump in the chat if you also have an answer to that. Curious what you guys do around holidays. Is it paid for you guys or no, Ryanna?
So, I mean, honestly, that's why PTO is there. If it's a brand new employee and they've only been with me for a few months or a year, then they can use their PTO. Others have PTO banked. I do have salaried employees. Not everybody is an hourly employee. So we know the difference between hourly and salary. But I do offer federal paid holidays.
Okay.
Everybody's compensation is based off of their position, how long they've been with me. I negotiate it accordingly. Not every single employee is treated the same. And that's just based off of either experience or questions that they had at the time of hire. Like, okay, PTO is really important to me, or this is more important to me. You have to be flexible with your employees and meet them with their needs. Doesn't mean I can always match them, but I
Yeah.
try.
Yeah. And so someone asked, Amy asked, how many reps are on your admissions team?
Too.
2 for 3 schools.
Correct.
Perfect. Becky asked, do you offer employees benefits or 401k? You mentioned not at first, but now you do. So
I
you offer
do.
health and 401k.
Yes.
Any other benefits?
I let them all get a free service every single month.
Okay.
So they can get a hydrofacial if they want. They can gift a service if they want. They all get free products once a month. PTO, I buy lunches frequently. I buy coffees frequently. I mean, we're always doing things to help, boost camaraderie and just let them know that they're appreciated.
Yeah. Do you do annual reviews and raises?
We do. Every single year they're up for a review and a raise.
Okay. Wow. Luann asked, do you find what product you carry contributes to hiring and keeping teachers and attract great students? What support a brand provides to your teachers and students? So is it the products you carry? Um, does that help at all?
I think so. So my goal when I started my school was to carry the best of the best, in my opinion. So our makeup is Jane Iredale. That came from me owning med spas. It's a very high end, nice makeup. I also use Eminence Organics. Not very many schools have Eminence. That's a very high end organic skincare line. But
I went
that
to a
was,
super bougie spa here in Nashville, and that's what they carried.
yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted to have brand representation to be in line with, the education that we are going to offer. And I think that helps with employees because they love working with these lines. It's exciting for them. Our Eminence reps are phenomenal. The education that they give to our instructors is huge. So in my opinion, I think that if you do not have a rep that is willing to come in and educate your staff and keep them motivated with whatever the brand is, or keep them knowledgeable so that they feel like they really know it all. There's nothing trying to teach about a product where you have very little support.
Mhm. Yep. For your salary employees, this is another question in the chat. Y'all, thank you so much for asking questions. We love to see it. I told Ryanna that our group is usually kind of chatty, and y'all are chatty, and I love it. For your salary employees, when you close the school, do you require your salary employees to use their PTO, or do they go unpaid?
That's a perk of being on salary. They get to get paid.
They get to get paid. Yeah.
Yeah, they get to get paid. Yeah.
Um,
But
someone asked,
also, oh, go
yeah,
ahead. Oh, I
no,
was
go.
going to say, I believe there was a question about, we close the school as well, and there's non-salaried employees that are hourly. They can either use their PTO if they have it, and a lot of them do bank it knowing, okay, we're going to close for a week during Christmas, and they'll use it at that time. They plan for it accordingly. But I also offer them opportunities to make money. So I let them know, like, if you would like to go into the school, if you'd like to go deep clean the school, if you want to go do some organizing, like I have a running punch list of ways that my employees can make more money.
Wow.
Just because the school is closed and there's not students in there, I allow them to work as much as they want. I'm okay with that.
Look how much I'm learning from you. That's such a great idea. I love it. Someone also, do you feel comfortable sharing a range of pay? If you don't, that's okay.
Are we talking about for educators?
Yes, for educators.
So if they're brand new, I always offer them a $22 an hour with the ability to have a raise within 90 days.
Okay. Great.
If
Great.
they're really seasoned, like right now, I just put out an ad like for the more seasoned instructors. If they meet that criteria, I'll start them at $26, $27 an hour.
Schools are not paying that. That's phenomenal.
I
And,
know.
but I will tell you, Ryan, that means less money in your pocket and you're okay with it.
I am, because I have quality educators, which in turn helps my retention of employees as a whole. And it also helps with my reputation with students. I think that's why we have a wait list. So, yes, I can spend more in marketing and not have students, or I can spend more to retain really quality instructors.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And then can you remind everyone where your 3 locations are?
So the first one is Bend, Oregon. We've been there for 10 years. The second one is in Meridian, Idaho. We've been there for 7 years. And then our newest school is Post Falls, Idaho, and we just had our 1 year anniversary.
Awesome. And then someone asked, Amy asked, do your brands build kits for your students?
They do.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, but they usually don't have school programs, right? You've had to kind of custom do that with them?
That is correct. So we were one of the, I mean, Eminence is in several schools, but they do tailor it to our demographic, which is really nice. Our rep worked with us and they were able to switch out some products that met the criteria of being an aesthetics only school and then also the climate.
Mhm. Um, Here's a question I have for you, and it's specifically about just sort of like networking. Like you went to your very first AACS. I know you've gone to NACAS events in the past, which is a little different. You're sitting in boring workshops. And there's a little bit of talking to others. I am curious if you have like I look to the Florida group. There's a lot of school owners in Florida where they talk regularly, they share best practices, they've known each other for years. There's other states that kind of have that. There's also that at AACS. So I'm sort of curious, are you sort of like this person that's on an island with a couple people you reach out to, or do you have a bigger network of beauty school people that you swap best practices with and you get hiring tips and just sort of wondering how you're running your schools today?
I do not talk with a lot of other school owners. I think that is really because I don't know a lot.
Yeah,
I even,
quite frankly, I never knew you, and I feel like I know everyone. And that's why when I
yeah,
was introduced to you, I was like, there's a school owner I don't know. I know everyone.
um, American Barbering of College, American Barbering College,
College of Barbering.
Josh, yeah, he helped me. I met him at a NACAS event in 2018. We were actually sitting at the same table, and he did connect me with FAS. So Rhonda and David, who I absolutely love, they've been amazing. And then they connected me with you as well. So I think, I've met my key people so far that I've needed. I haven't needed a lot of additional help. I have a phenomenal business partner. I will say that. We didn't talk about him. So his name is John, and he owns 20% of the school. Every single morning, him and I have a 20-minute phone conversation. And we are just always talking about how the schools are going, ways that we can improve. And I think just having constant communication with my team, we haven't needed to reach out to other school owners. Not to say that I know it all, I don't. We're really focused on our business and what we're doing and how we're building our school.
Well, quite frankly, it also hasn't clouded you because a lot of these schools are not paying well or they have, really broken cultures. And you kind of staying away from that, I think has probably helped you. And like, not to be arrogant, but you met Rhonda and you met me. Like, who else do you need? Like,
I don't need anybody else. I'm good. I think we're
you,
done. No, I'm kidding.
I think we're done. I'm dead. I love it. Someone wants to know, how often do you have start dates? Are they monthly at your school?
So we're typically every other month we
Okay.
start a new cohort. However, like we also just incorporated evening programs. So I might start a new daytime program and also have an evening program that started the same day or the very next week.
Okay. And then your goals for each start is how many?
16.
Okay. Got it. And again, most of your leads are referral based and then they just come in on the website.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. You're not spending thousands on Google, on Facebook, nothing like that. I mean,
Oh,
yeah. Do you have any interest in expanding more in the future?
yes. I have some places on my radar.
What about in the professional space or mostly just in the school space?
I'm open to whatever comes my way professionally. I've done a
Yeah.
lot of different things in this arena already. I feel like as an esthetician myself, I also went to school for business marketing. I worked in the med spas. I've been an educator. I've been a laser trainer. I'm also a medical rep. So that's something that we didn't discuss. So I've been a medical rep in regenerative medicine for the last 8 years, and I cover 3 states, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming.
Wow. I mean, you've done it all and you were a model and you're fun. You,
Oh my
you've
gosh, Jen.
and soon to be TikTok star. I keep telling Ryanna that she needs to get on TikTok because she would crush it. You'd probably crush me, quite frankly. I kind of probably shouldn't teach you all my secrets because you would kill it.
I'm going to leave that for you. I don't have
I
time for that, Jen.
You would kill it. Um, and then someone asked a question, what are some things your directors do to help with employee retention? Do they just live your philosophy and this has just become the culture? Like we gift, we're positive, we do like, do they just
Absolutely.
they replicate you?
They do. And they each do their own thing. So my school director in Oregon, her name is Casey. She's phenomenal. She is such a professional and she's worked in all areas of the school. And she started off as a student, which is really cool.
Wow.
So she's come full circle. She was a student and she became an educator and just moved her way up. She has weekly meetings with her team. And then they have a biannual meeting where they kind of, cover absolutely everything within the school. She touches base with her team constantly. All of my schools have morning breakout sessions. So they'll have a quick little powwow on Tuesday mornings here in Meridian. All of the entire team comes together for a quick little 10-minute powwow, and they do that weekly. And I think because they do that, they all have each other's backs. Hey, this is happening right now with this student, or hey, this needs attention paid to, this area, or they're all on Slack. I don't know if other schools are utilizing Slack, but Slack has been a great way for us to communicate in the moment without getting a text message. So they can have Slack pulled up on their computers in their classroom, or they can text each other and let each other know what's going on in real time. So everyone is always in the know. Nobody's left out. They know what's happening in the school. If an instructor is struggling with something, another instructor can step in and say, hey, I can help you, or I have a solution for that. They're always working together.
It seems like your campus director is sort of the backbone of your school, so they can be mini yous because you don't want to be there every day. So someone actually asked in the chat, what is the responsibility of the campus director? Are they basically the manager, the overseer of everyone there? Are they doing any classes themselves? What is your primary roles for them?
So all 3 of my directors are also licensed instructors, so they are able to step in and teach if need be, in those moments, right, where there's a medical emergency or whatever life throws our way. But yes, they're in charge of admissions. They oversee the instructors, the receptionist. My financial aid department, they are not overseen by the school directors. They're their own. Like they manage themselves. They really only communicate and report to me. Just 2 months ago, we just created a position that we never have had before, and it's for a regional manager. And that regional manager now helps with all 3 school directors. So the chain of command just grew an additional person to help facilitate the needs of all 3 schools.
And that person is a former director or someone outside
Yes,
a former
it's a
director?
former school director. And, that's been really beneficial because my goal is to continue to grow the school, grow the company as a whole. I am only one person. I cannot be in all 3 schools at the same time. So you can only do so much, and sometimes it's really nice to take things off your plate and let somebody else run with certain things, and I can delegate certain tasks to that person while I can focus on other areas, like I
I mean,
said.
clearly you've designed it so that you might make less money, but the work-life balance is so good for you that you don't get that burnout.
Absolutely, and that was very important for me. Yeah, I'm not making as much money, but I am not stressed. I am not spread so thin. And I've been able to trust all my lead positions to run the schools efficiently. And I know that it's taken care of. That's peace of mind. And that is worth its weight in gold to me.
I agree. This has been such an enlightening and great conversation. Guys, I want to thank you all for your questions. They were so good. I hope that you all learned lots, that you're inspired. And you know what? Maybe send this to your boss. Right, right. Be like, hey, look at what this school is doing. Let's go to Hawaii.
I'm hiring. If anybody wants to
Oh,
relocate,
I love that. Okay. Why don't we put in the chat, Ryanna, what's your email? Ryanna at,
premierestheticsinstitute.com.
oh God, I'm not going to spell this right.
I know it's so long.
Institute. Okay. I'm just going to assume I spelled that right. Why don't you look in the chat? Is that right?
Good job.
Wow. Reach out to Ryanna, see what kind of openings she has. We're really not here to steal employees, but
No, just if you're organically moving to one
you
of
were
my,
already I love that. That's so funny. This is fun. Listen, what are your kids going to be for Halloween tomorrow?
oh my gosh, I'm the cheesy mom. I make us be a theme every single year.
Okay,
It's
what is
People look forward to our themes, and we've kind of done all the themes. I have a 16-year-old son, and we're kind of like, oh my gosh, what are we going to be now? One thing we haven't done is Toy Story. So tomorrow we're going to be Toy Story. I have my dad and my stepmom involved. They're going to be Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Like, we're going to have the whole crew.
I've
The
got to
whole
see
cast will be there.
who are you going to be? Jesse?
Bo Peep.
Okay. I'm upset.
Really cute.
That sounds amazing. Ryanna, thank you for joining us. You were an amazing guest. Thank you all. We'll see you next month while we talk about AI admissions. Have a good one, you guys.
Thank you.